Hello again, Scrap and Ains fans. How are we all tonight? I am back with another layout for you, a 12 by 12 traditional layout. No mixed media, really, at all. But this one is for the Use Your Stuff challenge for this week. Is that right? Yes, the most recent one, which we are the 12th of April at the moment. Here anyway, where I am. Sorry if my throat's a bit scratchy, it's a bit sore, it's been a big day again. Alright, so here's my 12 by 12 piece. As I said, the challenge is to use flowers in your paper craft or whatever you're doing. So yeah, in my recent haul from Kaisercraft, I managed to get some of those paper pads, and I got one that was called Spring Bloom. Let me double check, I think I have it sitting here somewhere. Yep, the Spring Bloom collection. So I'm using that as my pattern paper, the 12 by 12 piece. The piece I'm cutting here is from their Wildflower collection. I have the small paper pad you can see sitting on the side there. And I think I do fussy cut out, yep, a flower off that paper that you can see off the side there on the left is from the Maggie Holmes Chasing Dreams. I think I did show you the branding strips. And yeah, so I fiddle around, I cut that 6 and a half, or whatever it was, piece of paper from the Kaisercraft collection. Cut that in a diagonal, just to something a bit different to the, there you go, Maggie Holmes. Oh, not Chasing Dreams, Gather. I apologise, Gather is where this flower's from. I'm so sorry, my throat's a bit scratchy. So I originally had planned to map my photo onto this little square piece of the pattern paper there, that Maggie Holmes paper. And as you'll see shortly, I do change my mind. I do fuss around, and I think I actually cut out a little bit of my fussing around. Yeah, so trimming it down at first, and then what I actually will go and do is I actually fussy cut this flower out and use it instead, because I just couldn't get it the way I want. I wanted that greeny coloured flower to really stand out, and the photo over the top of it, I couldn't get it right. So I think I leave in, you'll see shortly, I fiddle around with positioning of this just so that, like as you can see there, it pops out, but then it doesn't look right against, to me it didn't look right anyway for some reason, just with the other big, lot of flowers, red flowers in the corner. Now the photo is of one of those Snapchat filters. My daughter likes to play silly faces, she calls it, on my phone, because that's where my Snapchat is. And yeah, so I thought this photo was perfect. It was quite the little flower crown kind of fairy look. So here I am just flicking through the Kaisercraft Wildflower paper pad as to what I will actually map my photo on. So as you can see, I've sort of pushed it on off to the side at the minute, the Maggie Holmes piece, because I wasn't happy with the way it was. I really wanted the flowers, if I was going to map the photo, I wanted to stick the flowers behind it to pop out a bit. As I said, the challenge is to use flowers in your, like for me in the layout here. And obviously, yes, I can say, yep, I've ticked that with the pattern paper being from a Spring Bloom collection, which has flowers all over it, all up that side there. And then I use that Wildflower one in the corner of the Kaisercraft there that I cut in the diagonal. But I just wanted more elements there. So I really loved this purple coloured floral pattern paper. It was really, I think it was quite subtle, so it didn't clash with anything else, but it fitted well with the other sort of pinky colours and tones on the page as well as in the photo, because the tint in the filter on the photo is like a pinky kind of antique-y, purpley kind of colour. I'm not really sure if that's the best way to describe it, but that's what I'm going with. So yes, as I said, I fussy cut out that heart. God, I said it again. The flower there off that original, the Maggie Holmes piece, and I do pop that up the top there. So just trimming down the sides or the edges of that pattern paper, the smaller piece of pattern paper, just to map my photo on. I wanted the purple to stick out, but I didn't want it to be too out there. So, make sure it sort of contrasts and fit it in well with every other bit that I'm using here. I also sort of carefully placed that diagonal triangle, let's call it a triangle piece, in the corner there, because as you can see, the outside of the pattern, the big piece of pattern paper is green with some little white dots through it, but it also, it's got like that sort of scalloped edge, and I wanted that to stick out behind the paper. I just think it looked a bit more complete that way, sort of all tied in really well. Now what you saw me there, I've just added another element to it, which is the little cutter parts from the, is it Gather or Chasing Dreams? Oh, mind blank. That cutter part sheet there, it's a Crate Paper, Maggie Holmes one. I think it's Chasing Dreams. Anyway, and it's just green with bits like some bunnies on it and like woodland type theme, but it's got Garden Girl, and this fits really well. I did have a bit of an idea of the title I wanted to use. It didn't quite come the way I wanted it to. I couldn't get all the alphas that I wanted, so I changed it, and you'll see shortly, and I use some thickers as well as some word stickers off one of the sheets. So I finally decided to commit to things. It is a fairly simple layout that I came up with, although it seems like I fussed around a bit. But I really liked this challenge. I've sort of gotten into the whole florally thing at the moment, since getting the Cocoa Vanilla Wild at Heart range papers and things in my March Kitaholic kit. So I've sort of been more playing with some of the florals. So yeah, this was really, really cool. I was really happy with this. This photo actually was going to be used in a Project Life spread I was doing for my daughter's album. And I had it all cut out, hence the photos cut down. And then I was like, this is perfect for this challenge. So I went with that. So now, yep, as you can see, I'm just going to stick everything down, just sort of committing things to spots so that way I know it's done. I think I might sometimes I get to a point where I fussed around and you don't generally see it because I try and cut that fussing out as much as possible. Yeah, because if I fuss around too much, then I never get the layout done. So, yeah. And when you're on a roll, you're on a roll. And yep, so I pop the photo up. So I lay the pattern paper down first, and then I actually stick the photo to this foam here, foam squares, or square, I guess, just to pop it up off the actual pattern paper, as opposed to sort of matting it all and then putting the foam underneath as the last kind of like layer. I go with this instead. I think because I didn't want it to blend in too much either, because there's that pinky purple tone in the photo. But I just liked how it sort of brought the photo up without making it, too over the top. I also stuck that the other thing with the wildflower piece of pattern paper there I've used up in that top right hand corner, is I wanted to balance off the big cluster of flower, like the bright red flower down the bottom here in the left. I sort of wanted to balance it out with something just to be at the top, because other than the patterns you can see on that left side, there's actually nothing else on the paper. It's green with the white dots, and that's it as the outline, and that's pretty much it. So I just felt visually it needed to balance out by having that up in the corner there, and hence also the bigger greener colour flower that sort of brought your attention across the page, which also brought it to the focal point of the picture of my little garden fairy. So as I said, I really, really liked this layout. I really like how it came together. It was really quite simplistic. So the challenges, as I said before, are not that difficult. You can pop over to the Use Your Stuff blog spot and play along each week. It comes out, they go live every Monday, and it's just a different theme to it, which is, it's basically using your stuff. So things that you might have in your stash. For me, some of this was new to my stash, some of it not so new, and really some of it not even new collections. So, it is using those bits and pieces. I don't know what happened there. Alright, so I've stuck down the main elements of my layout. And now I'm just using this Spring Bloom sticker sheet. Now, when I did do my Kaisercraft haul, you might have seen it. Otherwise, flick back over into my channel and have a bit of a look. But they had a Friday Frenzy, which was 5 paper packs for $15. And in those paper packs, you get the whole heap of different of the 12 by 12 sheets, pattern sheets, but you also get one of these sticker sheets. So I used, obviously, the Spring Bloom one that was in that collection to use to make my title, which is Hello Sweet Fairy. So these stickers are new to my stash. They came in my kit this month from Kitaholic Kits. I think they're American Crafts. Yeah. So I used them. I didn't want to use them for the whole title. And I was trying to find different alphas on other of my sticker sheets, but I couldn't find all the letters and I couldn't juggle it around. Originally, I think I had, was it My Sweet Fairy? Then I had, what was I going to have? Little Garden, or Garden Fairy or something like that, but, or Flower Fairy. I just didn't have all the alphas I needed, which was really disappointing. And I wanted them to be big. So I just went with what was on the sticker sheet and made it all work. And it says, Hello Sweet Fairy. So now I decided to add in some wood veneer to my stash, in saying that this one didn't come from my stash, this one came from my kit this month. Some of the other wood veneer pieces I bring in are from the kit. But yeah, so I've used a couple of different elements on here. I've obviously used the pattern paper, some cutter parts, the sticker sheet. Now I'm using wood veneer. This was just something I wanted to try. It's not something that was part of the challenge, but I wanted to see how well I could use flowers, or demonstrate how you could use flowers, and how they're a really big part of our stashes at times. Not just our papers and that. It could be, cut apart sheets, sticker sheets, wood veneer, stamps, which you'll see me use shortly, and elements to that. So, I'll have a look as the video goes on. So I'm just using this Heidi Swap word. It says beautiful. That was a last minute entry in my grand plan for this layout. Just saw it sitting there on my desk and thought, you know what, I haven't used this for a while, let's give it a whirl. Really hope that you can hear this. My throat is really sore tonight. I'm not really sure, really crackly. Not really sure what the go is. I've been up and down with feeling not great, but yeah. Nearly at the end of the week for me. I only work 4 days a week. And I'm off next week, so yay! And we've got Easter, so it's an extra long yay! Alright, so here I'm using some Kaisercraft clear stamps. As to how old these are, I'm really sorry I was given these. Stuff I brought off a garage sale site on Facebook. But this little butterfly has flowers, patterns in its wings. And I used the VersaFine ink, black ink, because of the fact that it picks up the finer detail in these in his stamps. So I wanted to make sure that those flowers really popped off were really noticeable off the butterfly's wings. So I stamped that around. Some of it's sort of a faded stamping, some of it is, new ink. Now this stamp has been sitting in my stash since, again, it was some stuff a person was giving away a long time ago, and I nabbed it and these stamps were in it. It was a big pack of stamp stuff, and this one was in it. I remembered I had it. I've never ever used it. So yeah, I do now. So there you go. Use your stash. I did think about embossing these stamps and then changed my mind. I liked the black ink. I think the black ink alone just stepped off the page a bit, which was good. I was a bit concerned that maybe I was making this too busy, but when looking at it, really, I think it all worked quite well. What am I doing? So I'm going into my stuff here. So sorry, use your stuff, not use your stash. To have a look at what I could use, other elements I could pull in. Tried that die cut piece that you just saw, but it didn't work. I didn't like the flowers. It was too much. Didn't match in with the other sort of flowers I had. So just using some wood veneer, and again, as I said, my little wood veneer box there, it's only tiny. So I went with a flower piece you can see up the top, and then a love heart wood veneer that again has shapes of, not hearts, what are they, flowers in it, which you'll probably see better in the close-ups anyway, and that other wood veneer piece is a flower. As you can see off to the right there, there's some of those bright sort of coloured stickers there. I was thinking about using them, but they were going to be way too much, too big, too bold on my page, so I put them to the side, and they're an Amy Tan one as well. Oh, shaking the camera, sorry. What am I doing? So I thought I was done, and then I kept looking at it going, I'm not sure this is finished, and I couldn't put my finger on it for a bit what it was, and then I realised. So I've decided to do a black sort of doodly border just to finish off the page. I think it finished it off quite well, tied in the black ink from the stamps and everything as well, I think. And what I'm actually drawing is my own little flower in the corners, in each of the 4 corners there. That's what you can see me doing. Alright, and then I'm just about done, I think. Oh, I popped some journaling down the bottom, and I contemplated putting some lines, and then I changed my mind, and the date that this photo was taken, which was July last year. Yeah, so it just says playing on Mum's phone using the Snapchat app. Alright, well thank you for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this layout. I will get this up tonight, which is Wednesday night here. So it should be available probably tomorrow morning because it takes forever to upload. Yeah, give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment if there's any questions or anything else you want to see. Thanks, guys. Bye.